Hey folks, Quilly here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Factorio. I was just having a conversation with someone on Twitter, and we were talking about different ways to load science into tech labs. I think that was in response to probably an episode that wildly predates this kind of setup over here, because we're clearly loading all 6 types of science in here, although we're going to want to restructure things for our beacon support and whatever when we get to that point. But we can load... we can actually load 6 different types of automated science in here, and then, you know, figure out a way to transfer in... hold on. I set up another science lab somewhere, right? I feel like... Oh, no, I'm thinking of my offline game, where I'm transferring things through. Anyway, this feeds it in, then we can just load in the... like the space science directly. What I've done in an offline game, actually... Oh, I can't do it because I don't have tech lab. Hold on, I guess I can pick up the one where I am. I just did a setup. As soon as I plop it down, my bots will go. No, but I can plop it down over here. That'll work. Okay. Sorry, I'm just figuring out a way to draw this stuff. Where did the science lab go? There it is. In an offline game I have, I think I'm doing something just like this and like repeating it. And ending up with, you know, just grabbing like this. I don't even know if the blue... Oh, no, there's another gap over here because I feed things in that way. Basically, you can just feed things into one lab or have one lab grab everything, you know, whatever, and then just feed it down. Like, that's okay. But the question is still, how do you load all the different science packs in here? I mean, with this setup, I guess you can actually only easily support the 2 different kinds. I guess what you could do, this didn't actually occur to me, is if... I don't want to delete the labs, actually, is you could have another series of these going the opposite direction. So you have, like, down, right, like that, and then up like that. And then at the bottom, you can be grabbing off another chain. Obviously, we're not grabbing with all blues. It'll be blues and reds. So that would allow you some fashion, some way to load in up to 8 different kinds of science packs. I think there's 7 with the space science. I think there's 7 science packs. So that would do it. In terms of fitting in the beacons, I'll probably just end up grabbing something online somewhere, probably from the Factorio Blueprint website. But this is kind of a neat little thing. The idea with this thing is you can actually, on something that looks like 2 belts, you can actually carry... it's really 4 different belts, and you can carry 8 different resources on here, right? Because what you got to think is that there are 2 blue belts, or you can use yellow. Actually, I would just probably use yellow here, but they have to be, you have to use 2 different colors here. And what can happen is, therefore, the blue belt on the top is operating independently of the red belt, and the red belt, so you can put in, let's say I put in pipes. How do I drop? Oh, Z, isn't it? I don't know if I can actually drop it on there. I'd have to, like, do that. There we go. If I do that, and I do that, that'll work. So I can drop pipes on here. So they're only going to be on the red. So you'll see it come out over here. There you go. See, pipe. You can make it a little bit clearer if I do that. And then on the blue, I could drop something completely different, like railroad tracks. Right? And you could use both sides. Both sides of the red, both sides of the blue, and the same thing at the bottom. So this ends up something that can carry 8 different products on it. And at first I was like, is there a way to do it with the science? And I don't think there is, because the science has only got the 3 wide, right? So you like, it's like, okay, so I grab from the far blue and the far red, and I grab from the close blue, and then I can't grab from the close red. So I don't know if this applies to any sort of like science-y kind of thing. Although I guess you could like, you could interweave it in a couple of different ways. I don't know. It's a thing. But this might be cool for like a production area later on, right? Where you get some sort of setup where it's like, okay, I want to build electric furnaces, and I want to build drills, and I want to build pump jacks, and I want to build laser turrets, and I want to build, you know, like you wanted to build a huge variety of different things. And like what we're doing here, where we're sort of figuring out, okay, what do I need to yank off the bus for all these different jobs? And I mean, by yanking stuff off the job for specific jobs, or for yanking things off the bus for specific jobs, you get like lots and lots of goods, right? You get enough throughput for all the things. But a lot of times, like some of these structures, you only need, You know, unless you're generating one of these things for a science pack, then you get a dedicated area for it. But if you're not generating one of these in a science pack, you don't tend to need very much. And so as long, let's say that the close red had green and red circuits on it, and the close blue had iron plates and copper plates, and then the far one, you had your steel and stone, and then you had batteries and plastic or something like that, then all of a sudden you could actually create all these things here. You just grab from the appropriate one. So we need to make sure we grab from, say the steel is the far blue, and the batteries are on maybe the far red, and the green circuits are on the, I don't know, the close blue. Like this. I guess the one thing to note is if you need to grab from both the far red and the close red, then you got to position this, you know, like this one would be able to grab from both reds. But, you know, you could figure something out. There's a couple of different ways. You could always do some sort of weird thing where you, like, grab to the side and then put it in, you know, inject it somewhere. And there's probably some sort of use to this, and probably a billion people have already figured it out and have really cool techniques for getting that to work. But I don't have that. Why do I have copper ore on me? I should be auto-dumping copper ore probably, but let's worry about that afterwards. Why am I full of fish? Where did... I must have deconstructed something at some point that was covered in fish? How long have I had that? Or is it when I filled in a lake at some point? To make room for stuff. What the... Go away, fish. I don't need you right now. How long have I had that fish on me? Probably a million years. Let's go and finish some chests here, just to top that off, because that's fine. I don't have the job. Anyway, we're building a mining area over here, is what we're doing. We actually got a couple of mining things. We've got this one here, and we've got another one up top. I'm just going to go ahead and drop some power cables in here. I mean, I could do this, like, more or less with blueprints and stuff. Oh! No, cancel. Oh, you hold shift. There you go. That's why. I don't know what I box selected over here, but apparently at one point I had ordered a bunch of fish to be delivered onto me. All right, sure, fine. I think I was supposed to go and set up all the power in between episodes here. I apologize for not having done that. I didn't actually have the power poles in my blueprint for whatever reason. I should probably fix that later. Well, mostly because I don't have a blueprint for the mines. I just, like, plops them down, then I grab an empty blueprint, copy this, and then go from there, because, you know, it's pretty trivial to do. Dun, 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 dun. But I should have put down power poles before I started copying the blueprint. Is there even any ore over here? I guess there's some, so sure. I want it for the sake of completeness, right? Right, exactly. Some distance away over here. And over here, we'll be, like, merging these guys. We don't need to do... I'm not super concerned with a mega proper balancing of these lanes exactly. So I'll probably sort of arbitrarily merge things. Although, maybe we can feed this into like a 6 by something. You are in a dumb location, my friend. Is that how many we've got? 6? Yeah. But yeah, I'm okay with, like, not mining all this, like, as fast as is literally possible, getting it a little bit of a backlog. Mostly I'm concerned about getting all the rocks out of this thing. And we are having a little bit of a problem with that little station over there, which I should probably just move you. I'm full of things. Okay, well, first of all, there we go. We're finally going to auto-trash this stuff. Oh, I have all these processing units because... First of all, I'm going to cancel the request for it because I can build a portable fusion reactor. Bam! Thank you very much for all the blues. So we're going to use all those up. I'm going to get rid of some of the copper. I don't even know I've got this much on me. I probably picked it up accidentally at some point. So yeah, we're just going to move you over by like 1 square here, buddy. Boom. And I have to dump my logistic bots in there. And we're going to drop a good number of construction bots in there as well. Okay. Done, 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 done. Okay. And I can probably blueprint a little bit to move things. But we're going to have to go and figure out where we want the station. Now, I am going to want a station that can support multiple cars. I did go ahead and upgrade, like, this Iron Depot some time ago now supports cars that drop off 4 at a time. We're going to want to do the same thing with the copper ore, which actually we've got plenty of room to do that. We could actually... we need a little bit longer. Do we even, though? Hang on a sec. Give me a blueprint of some kind. You are going to grab this like that. There you go. Yeah, we can already accept trains that arrive with 4 cars and be perfectly fine. Okay, good. So I want to set up a car, like a station that can accept trains with 4 cars over here. Because why not? And again, the 1-car trains are still going to go there. But yeah, we are very nearly out of copper. I did go ahead and do this one sort of as a temporary little thing, because it was there and we may as well use it. And that's just like, it's just feeding into this over here. And not, you know, again, it's not using maximum throughput. Although, honestly, we're actually not mining so much. We actually are going maximum throughput here. There's no backup whatsoever on our inputs. So that's okay. And then every now and again, we get a delivery still from... somewhere over here, but there's hardly anything left. So it's a good thing that we're expanding this now. Anyway, so yeah, let's station this up. We're gonna start with, do I not have my Y intersection in place here? Let me clear you, and you know what? Well, no, we're gonna go and right click, trash to make some room. That's gonna be okay. And grab the T-junction, and we're going to put that down somewhere over here. Probably fine. Hopefully enough room in there for the trains maybe to not get stuck. Actually, with the 4-car trains, that might not be the case. We might have just boned ourselves. Worst case scenario, though, we change our exit signals to chain signals instead of the normal signals over there. And then we'll be okay. I think this is maybe going to be in our way. I'm going to just preemptively go and clear that out here. No, you're going to give me 1,000,000 bots again. I don't want the 1,000,000 bots. Gotta be a better way to do that. Go away, logistics bots. Excuse me. Let's go and do the minimum curve we can over here. And it's got to be long enough to accept a 4-car train. Speaking of things that have got to be moved. The bum. And then... so you can go a little bit longer. No. Oh, can you not make the corner? Sorry, a little shorter then. There we go. And we'll give you some space here, like that. Excellent. Okay. So that's going to be all right, and we will load in over here. I didn't actually check to make sure my station was long enough. This is actually what I should have done is way down here, and I don't have a blueprint for this. We're going to make sure to save this going forward. This is going to be a 4-car loading blueprint all the way up to the stop. Like that. We don't need that bit. Say okay. We're going to go into the blueprint book. We're going to drop you in there. So that's the 2-car station. This is the 4-car station load. 4-car. I just call it 4-car load. I don't need the word station actually. That's, yeah, we can make this shorter and easier to read. And something's being blown up somewhere. Probably in a new area where I haven't given enough love to defend. Or, oh, just down here. So, I mean, there's still stuff being triggered by pollution over here, clearly. And they're blowing up some of the stuff that's out there, which is perhaps slightly annoying. I do have, right, this little intermediary station, because I remember that happening before. What I'm going to do is set up another block of that. And make sure you're connected to the logistics network, say there. And There we go. Just a little bit. We'll just extend it that way, and I can babysit it from a distance. Anyway, so I don't need you. This is our 4-car unload, which are, sorry, 2-car unload, which I don't think I have actually saved in that book. 2-car unload. So the 4-car load, you come south or that way, yeah, so you're going in this direction. We're not going to have quite enough room, so slightly too short. Could move everything. I should have maybe figured out the curve first, but that's okay. 4-car load. There. Put you down there. This is also not quite right because it should actually be upgraded to only stack inserters. Because it definitely makes a difference with the giant stacking bonuses. I'm going to see if there's any way. If I just shift-click and say, listen, bro, please, please, no? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to just delete these undergrounds. And we'll rebuild them after. Really? Hold on. You're telling me it actually is impossible to make this curve completely? Because the water pump? Son, I am disappointed. Okay, that's fine. We can move the water pump as well. You know, or fail to insert things because my inventory's full. Okay, let's do that. Did I leave the water pump in the ground? Yeah, it's right over there. Pick up. Pick up. Thank you. Where's the water pump? Right here. Actually, I don't want you there. I want you here, and then immediately going underground. Excellent. I think we'll have to stop short here. Short, not sharp. That's a very different thing. That was the right way around. And there we go. Okay. So you got water pumping into... This is for, like, our oil refining and stuff. It's very, very, very important. So, we need to somehow get all 10 of our lines here sort of equally split into 8, more or less. What I think I'm going to do is just not stress about it. Yeah. I'm going to do a non-throughput ideal kind of thing here by doing that. And same thing on the outside over here. Like that. And like that. And like that. And you're going to take away all the stuff that's supposed to be dumping. Excellent. Right, I built this lab to do demo stuff. And yeah, you know what? I'll hold on to it for now. That's fine. Still have these logistic bots. And you are no longer connected completely to the logistics network in the way that I might prefer. So I'm just going to go ahead and get you there. There we go. That's going to be fine. Okay, so now we have 8 lines. Now, there's going to be a lot more material out of the bottom than the top, but I don't really care that much. We can worry about it later. We're going to get you to come across here. Maybe. Thank you, autosave. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the fact that you exist, and I'm not going to turn you off, because that would be asking for trouble. But you are slightly annoying sometimes. Let's be honest. You're going to go here and come down like that. So we're not balancing both sides of this input. But the important thing is the stuff come... Oh, and actually I should put a 4-way balancer down here. If I do this, are you going to be super annoying about it? Or are you going to be relatively functional? Looks like relatively functional is actually the answer. There we go. So yeah, so the important thing is all 4 cars, regardless, even if after the top like runs out, all 4 cars are still going to be loaded at even speeds. They won't be loaded at the full throughput that could happen. That's a fairly insignificant time period where there's going to be this unbalance, and it's not going to be a showstopper. So I refuse to care. What are you? You are an insert over here that is standing around bizarrely not doing things. These guys catch up. I don't have just the 4 thing. That's okay. We'll just draw these manually anyway. Oh, wrong way. Okay. I think I've got all train parts as well. So at least we'll get that. We will have to, in fact, verify that our other station has properly been upgraded to support all 4 trains. Well, it might be ready to scoop up. It's not connected to the rest of the grid, but that's okay. Speaking of being connected to the rest of the grid, autosave. Man, it autosaves a lot. Should I change that? I feel like I should change that. Other? 2-minute autosave? Okay, that's pretty aggro. Listen. 15 minutes, man. That's going to be fine. God. Took me a million years to do, but it finally happened. Change my autosave settings. Alright, so this is going to be our first 4-car train for our coal. Coal. Copper. I was just thinking about the fuel and or lack thereof. Can I make a requester chest? I can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. In fact, I'm going to make... No, one's enough, because it can do different slots. That's right. So I'm going to go and put that there. And I'm going to do this. Okay, we're actually going to do it one lower. Or, you know, maybe vaguely... Oh, it's going to be outside of the logistics area. At least it's in the power area. And I'm going to request... For this chest, it wants both... raw wood and coal. There we go. Because that stuff's been sitting around in my network forever, because from my inventory dumps. So now there's going to be somewhere that finally gets that stuff dumped in there. Meanwhile, I do have some wood to get this kick-started, so this train will operate. So this is going to be copper ore pickup 2, like that. So I'm going to get in here and make a request. You are going to go to copper ore pickup 2 until you are full. Then you're going to go to copper ore drop off until empty, like that. You are actually very nearly full as is. I guess I can turn you on automatic. I was going to just send you the next thing. Did you seriously just fill up? Oh yeah, because I was still seeing the action, but of course they're filling the boxes here. You can see the disparity between the two over here, not being even, but it's fine. We don't have to stress about it. It's okay. Relax. And boom. Excellent. Now, obviously we're not using all the outputs, and actually that is incomplete over here, so let's get you. Apparently we need some wooden boxes being made as well, in some sort of automated fashion. We're going to figure out exactly what goes on with these guys. I guess this would actually be better for just doing this. Then maybe going to 4-way balancer. Or it could be like a 4 to 2. Like, that wouldn't be the end of the world if we did something like that. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with all these outputs. What I'm going to do is... Where's all my wooden boxes? I don't even have my own over here. And I don't have any wood on me. Whoa. I suppose I can start dropping, you know, other kind of chests on here. Which should be okay. Oh, it emptied! I mean, it didn't empty evenly because I didn't have all the things, but that's okay. Let me put in my own personal request to say, get me some wood here. That'll be okay. Presumably, yeah, we're in the logistics network over here, so that's fine. Yeah, so that's working. Okay, so with the copper... Yeah, I don't know. It's probably okay to just merge these sides. As long as they get emptied in some fashion, that's all that matters. That was me dumping some copper ore before, which I could actually do with a requester chest. Chop down some trees here, and just make some more wooden chests. I mean, I know that we're going to want way more smelting. Maybe I actually do want to have all these 8 individual lanes. I mean, balance at some point, but go into an expended smelting thing, which I can kind of sort of do because, you know, this area is super obsolete now. Yeah. I mean, it's still got some stone sitting there, which it's using to make bricks, but we've got another area that's making bricks. You've got stuff under here. You're in the logistics network, which I guess is fine. I'll tell you what we'll do. Brick me up, baby! There you go. Let's use this stuff. It's fine. Here, I'll pick up some of it. I don't have any inventory really, but there we are. And then that'll start this production again. I don't know. It's all good. So, and then yeah, we could blow all this up. So you can easily increase this up to 8. So for now, what I'm just going to make sure to do is just do a very simple sort of like 4 to 2 and not even care about balancing, because we do balance up over here. So it's not going to be the end of the world. And obviously this is not going to be throughput maxed. But the important thing is that we're going to have 4 fully saturated lines coming over here. That's all we're going for. That's all we're aiming for, is that the 4 lines that are actually going into the copper stuff is fully saturated for now. Because what's the point in 100% throughput down here if the saturation isn't going to... What's going on here? Isn't going to change anything anyway. There we go. Pick this stuff up, which is all going to get into my auto dump pile anyway. And you go to town. There we go. So, all the inputs are going to be 100% full over here once this reaches here. And we'll probably start backing up over here. I think so. Push comes to shove, we could just do some big upgrades from red to blue. These are 100% here. Yep. Some gaps that are still being dealt with. But I think this is all set up that everything is going to be running at 100% everywhere now. I did at some point go and upgrade this stuff to blue, because this whole thing is not 100% throughput, and so we're cheating it by using some blues, and that's alright. You can actually really get a sense that, like, it's really not using everything over here. We get little micro stutters over here, and it's because of this. This is not a 100% throughput design. Because we've got 4 full lines over here. Things over here aren't really moving or being used, so we should end up with 4 full lines over here. The fact that we don't is entirely a result of this. Which is, or specifically this. This is obviously a normal 4x... it's not the normal 4x4 balancer. This is my... I was going to say my fucked up version, but no, it's okay because we've got the same thing over here. So, and then in theory, it splits it out. It's not perfect. It's interesting, it doesn't use all the output lanes over here. There's probably a better 4 to 8 splitter balancer out there. But in any case, this is okay. This is going to load up all right. In fact, the big bottleneck is... Well... No, I don't know. The inserters mostly look like they're working their ass off. So if I want to continue lazy mode, then I could just switch all this to blues, which might actually make a difference. I don't have enough blues for everything. Maybe I want to change my request here. Because I request blues, maybe we'll start asking for 200 to be delivered onto me. Construction bots are done. Wow, they're done, like, paving all that, which is kind of amazing. Here, let's pave some more. Let's pave all this. Oh, I still had a bunch on me as well. There you go. I mean, I'm not making straight lines. But, you know, that's fine. I still have bricks on myself, too. Look at all the construction bots swarming. We have so many things now. And their speed has been increased, and their carrying capacity. I don't know if the carrying capacity matters for construction bots doing this. I think it's mostly the speed concern. But it's still something. We don't need to upgrade the that. And I still don't have enough stuff. So yeah, we can get everything to blues and it'll go a wee bit faster. Because there's some gaps over here, but I don't know. That's not really the issue. I do logistics bots. Bring me more blue cables. Anyway, so again, that's totally lazy. That's not the ultimate solution. I think one thing that would be nice is a proper balancer here. The other thing that'll happen again is at some point we're going to probably go up to quad of these copper things, and even then that probably won't be enough. Because we're gonna want dedicated, like much more dedicated, I would say, copper deliveries to over here. I think some upgrading, yeah, there's quite a bit of upgrading to blues and stuff that happened over here as well, just to try to get the copper here, because again, like, we've got the one delivery, and we're using a lot of different stuff, and it is really stressing the limit of only having the single car copper delivery, and unfortunately, I didn't leave myself enough room to provide for more than that, so we'll see what we do. What I might do is simply put a new copper delivery station somewhere down here, and run some undergrounds or something to get there. Or we could blow up this green circuit pickup, expand the copper, move the green circuit pickup somewhere else. That actually might prove to be the best solution. I don't know, because yeah, clearly the copper is just not throughputing enough over here. And it's actually semi-related. No, everything's coming in here. There's no bottleneck. It's going from the 2 to the 4. That's just not enough. So we need to embiggen our copper deliveries, because there's a bit of a loading bottleneck over here. Like, look at this. There's 3 trains waiting. Yeah. Alright, well, that's probably the next project then, because that is definitely a bit of a limiting factor. This upgrade tool, by the way, is just part of a mod, and all it does is, like, uses stuff from your inventory. You set up a rule over here, like, what your upgrades are supposed to go to. So, I want to upgrade all the reds to the blues, and it just beats, like, manually doing it. If you do it with shift, then it'll queue up bot commands for it. But I don't want to do that because the bots will actually try to pick up everything off the tracks first. It's just very likely that we are not actually producing blue stuff properly here. One of the things we're going to do, actually, is we're going to start loading the freaking gears a heck of a lot faster. Actually, this guy here, can I upgrade you? No, because you should be upgraded to a stack inserter, because you can stack pickup from the belts, which is going to be a lot better. But I'm still going to go ahead and drop a couple of those, and that, and that. That shouldn't take too long, although I guess my constructor bots are still pretty busy. Oh, no, there's a lot of free ones. Good. This, I think, would run a little faster if these were all stack inserters, but I don't think it'd be as much of a win. It just saves a little bit of the swing animation, but it's not quite that meaningful. Come on, construction bot, drop some frickin'... Do I not automate? Yeah, you got a box full of frickin', yeah, 2 for pickup. I guess just whoever's doing the pickup is, like, super far away for some reason. I don't know how it prioritizes which construction bots do things. There we go, finally. Alright, second blue. And that. Because, yeah, it's just having to wait a million years to get all the gears. And that's slowing down the blue pickup. No, there's tons of that, too. Alright, now I've got tons of blue on me. Upgrade tool. Which I should probably keep on my belt at this point. And I'm out again. So I don't know if it makes too much of a difference. I think it's just making sure that everything gets fed a little bit. But now they do drain out pretty quickly when they're doing the bulk pickup. Are you out of battery? That might be part of the problem. Some of them are bots to get here because there's a lake and everything. They might be crossing by a large area that doesn't have a an energy supply. That guy still fills up super fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this coal thing to be explicitly a passive provider to make sure that if anyone's starting to request coal, they're going to have something that gives it. Wow, my personal bots are having a hell of a hard time charging up here. A hell of a hard time. I have some excess of these things. I have a lot of construction bots, but that's okay. I want to carry some extras around. How come? Oh, because this is set to 50, which is not what I want. You can trash those. Thank you. Keeping the wood around is fine, actually, because I need to make wooden chests. Although, what I need to do, and this could literally be done anywhere. I can do that right here. I want to make a system for making wooden chests. Your thing will be to pick up, cancel that. You're going to be making a request for any wood that's sitting around the system, and you're going to be providing wooden chests. Yellow's fine. We don't need to make these, like, ridiculously fast. You will need another one of these poles. So you're going to be putting in a request for logs. Wait, the chest doesn't get built directly. I forget. You need to make planks first, and then that gets made into wooden chests. There we go. That's going to be fine. Boom. Boom. Grab you. Move you over here. You're making the chests, and you're going to put that into an active provider, which is going to be limited to no more than 50. There you go. You asked for no more than 100 in there, and the wooden chests are going to get built, and you're within the logistics network. There they go. They're going to go. And that's going to be a nice little drain of wood. So there's tons of wood sitting in freaking stockpiles all over, and I'll probably stop blowing up as many trees because I was going and blowing up everything instead of using bots because I'm like, well, I'm just going to be filling up all my freaking storage with stupid pieces of wood that I'm not going to use. But now there's going to start to be a drain for it. I'll probably set up another little wood thing. How come I can't drop it? Because I'm full. Okay, I don't need this much plastic. See, and we'll have to put a drain for the... a use for the plastic somewhere that just maybe feeds it on. Actually, what I should do right here... actually... Oh my god, how did I not die there? I'm going to go and put you right there. And then what I'm going to do... Actually, I guess I can replace this with a requester chest. And I put a requester chest here, which is not in the logistics network, apparently. No, no. Stop. Drop. I'm still full again. There, drop the copper in there. Put you here. Why are you up? There you go. And I'm going to put in a request for copper plates, because I have trashed copper plates plenty of times before, because I'm like, I don't need this on me right now. So now, if there's any copper plates sitting in storage somewhere, they're going to get carried over to this chest, and which means it'll get loaded onto trains, which is going to be fantastic. There you go. These are definitely getting filled faster. Although, clearly we have to upgrade this. The other thing we could do is actually upgrade it so that we could actually load 2 at a time, which would be very doable. But yeah, I think I might want to automate chest production. I don't know, they do build very quickly. It's just going to mean that I'm going to have to request, you know, steel and circuits from time to time, which isn't necessarily something I want to do, but it might be okay. I don't want to die, so I'm going to walk around the other way. Thank you for delivering onto me more goods. This train is still there, yeah. It really is like loading speed. And even with this, it's not getting enough goods over here. Well, it's a little better anyway. Now, there's a possibility. Oh, that's some interesting breakup. Are you guys having input problems? No. Wonder why it was looking like that. Are these still... Oh! I finished my fusion thing! Freaking frick. You. Portable fusion. Hang on. Stay there. You. Go here, and portable fusion there. Making a ton more power, which keeps us charged. I do have the personal Roboport Mark II. I accidentally made an extra thing. Because when I clicked on this, like, I saw that I could build this. I only had 4 in my inventory. I'm like, oh, it must use the one for my armor right away. No, what it ended up doing is making an extra personal Roboport and then doing that. So, wah wah. But now it means I can actually actively use 10 at a time, and it gives me an extra 2 charging stations. If I'm going to do this, I should probably upgrade this one to that as well, just so that I have, you know, maybe room for 50 construction bots, and I can charge 8 at a time. That wouldn't be too bad. But in any case, we have a whack ton of actual power now, and, you know, that's not too bad. I might put in a request for more solar panels anyway, or maybe some extra batteries. Well, we should just, like, keep upgrading this stuff. That would be the thing going forward, but, yeah. So, I mean, maybe this should be on the bus, but, I mean, we never bust the wood anyway, so who cares where these chests are? As long as there's someone in the network, that way when I, like, put down a request to make some sort of stupid station somewhere, it starts to happen. But we've got enough copper input that it probably makes sense to go and expand this. And then we can actually, instead of being a 4x8 balancer, we can just use like an 8x8 balancer if we have all 8 things going on. We can definitely fit one in here without too much trouble. If it weren't for this train station, which actually can be nudged a fair bit. Because I can go and do just this. I think if I shift click, it'll rotate the other way, but let's say that, right? Because then I can go and remove all this. Just want to do the first few manually there, because otherwise probably bad things were going to happen. Oops! So I guess when you read over an area that is just brick... Oh, someone else is doing that. One of the other construction bots. Do that so that I can tell which bit I can safely remove. So I think that's enough out of the way that we can actually do that. So as long as we move this coal line, which is actually responsible for filling power over here. Oh, speaking of which, what I should do is... I guess we've got coal requesters for filling up some of our trains now. So that'll drain some of the coal from our system. And that's going to be okay. Maybe what I'll do, actually, is put in a passive provider chest right here to grab coal. We'll limit it to, say, 150 here. That way, there's going to be some ability for coal to always be present in our logistics system. Now, this passive provider, I don't remember if bots take from storage first or from provider chests first. There's active provider. Bots will take from active provider chests first. I just don't know if bots take from passive providers or storage chests first. And I would prefer them probably to take from the storage chests, just so that this one here doesn't keep, getting drained. But anyway, this will ensure that regardless, we're going to have some coal in the system. So we'll probably have to move this main coal line over somewhere, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, probably what we do now is we just take this blueprint here, and we grab, say, from there to here. And, I mean, we've got the one gapper in there, which we don't necessarily need one way or another, but it's fine. And if we do that, and, yeah, this is going to be kind of annoying because it's going to have to pick up a million pieces of coal. But that's okay. I gotta auto trash coal above 50. What else can I get rid of in my inventory? Feels like I'm definitely just carrying too much crap. First of all, the belts. Well, I've got too many of the reds, I think, because I've been upgrading. I'll also change the red limit to maybe 200 after all. What the hell is getting blown up? Oh, I never built any guns over here. Oh my. Well, that's okay. You can get some coming in here. These are within my construction zone, so they will get replaced. And you got some guns over there. Alright, that should be fine. So yeah, they're going to try to replace this stuff. Luckily, these are not ranged critters. We got some guns there. I remember the top. Let me go and make sure I've got a couple by my train station here, because it would be really annoying if them things got blown up there. So at some point, the guns will be delivered and we'll be okay. Speaking of, the other thing that was getting exploded was down here, where I was slowly scrooching forward with the logistics network. Do that, and a radar. Maybe a couple more guns, because there have been some pretty dedicated attacks down there. There you go. Just keep advancing this. I mean, that's a pretty lazy way of doing it, but that's why I like bots, because I am lazy. Okay, you are going to have massive power problems in a second if I don't freaking rewire this shit. So, let's make a corner. Go here. My whole base is going to come to a collapse, especially at night here, without the solar panels running. Hopefully that is far enough. It should be. Well, actually, that's an interesting couple of questions, because I could expand this in a slightly different direction than I was expecting. Let's do this. Change you to go this way, and then up. like that. We're just going to try to give our coal production as much space as possible. Something like that. Oh, I know I got to put a cut in this. Oh my god, it's gone so long. But I just feel it's like that's Factorio. That's classic Factorio. No, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Clearly we've got some yellow stuff somewhere right over here. Actually, this whole input is all yellow. I mean, it doesn't matter because it does back up. Oh my gosh. Still all yellow. I mean, it clearly wasn't a problem. There. And there's still plenty of yellow in there, but as long as it's flowing down here with a little bit more alacrity, I'll certainly feel a lot better. How's our power? Oh, it's alright. Okay, we're fine. And that's flowing all the way up and into our whatchamacallits, our steam engines. Now, which one of these is that? So let's say we drop you here. Excellent. I think, actually, I could go over at least one more. And again, this is all going to have to get moved later. Let's go ahead and go with the 6 for now. We'll let that get built. I'll clearly have to put a cut in here. But yeah, if I rebuild this to be, say, an 8x8, which would be a hell of a lot better for the unloading. And then at the top over here as well, change this balancing so that we've got this flowing into the trains. Because, yeah, it's still not... We need these to be filled before the train arrives, because that way we get the stacking bonus. The greens here are still slightly better than the blues at loading the boxes, because they take slightly fewer swings, and then they also drop more at once, but they don't really pick up that much faster. But we're clearly still starved out for just pure coal over here, or copper. Oh, you can see things from our storage network somewhere are being delivered in here, which is good, because we're just overfilling stuff, and we have a bunch of material that's never ever being used. It is maybe, needlessly keeping some of our logistic spots busy, but not really. And that's a finite job. Eventually they'll run out of, like, this copper that I've dumped, and that's going to be okay. Or every time I go and say, I don't want copper, and I just drop it over here, at least I know it's going to go somewhere useful, and that's going to feel pretty good. Apparently I'm not in the logistics area. I'm going to say, why is no one picking up this coal here? So yes, we'll put in a cut. We're expanding our copper production. And the next thing will have to be a bigger train station so that we can load maybe twice as many cars at a time, because at least then when it arrives over here, yeah, but we gotta move things. We gotta move something. Probably the green pickup, because I actually don't think anything picks up the green circuits. Right? No. And we're ready for it. We're ready to pick up green circuits, and the idea will be... Where's our green circuits over here? Right, we produce green circuits over here. I did recently extend this line with the idea that we're going to drop off green circuits over here, but we're not using them yet, so what the hell, we'll go and deconstruct that. In fact, I'm going to give my bots a massive command over here to tear this apart, because that's going to have to get emptied out and moved to some sort of storage, but that's okay. So this whole thing will, in fact, go away. And all these green circuits over here will also go away. I'm going to probably have to keep the power cables up. They might be responsible for connection. But we'll let them do that, and when we come back next time, we rebuild things. Thanks for watching! See you then.